Imagine, if you will, a small village named Cana in Galilee, bathed in the warm glow of an ancient sunset. The air is filled with laughter, music, and the joyful sounds of a wedding celebration. Olive trees sway gently in the breeze, and stone houses stand as silent witnesses to this happy occasion. On the third day, a wedding took place, and among the guests were Jesus and his disciples, invited to share in the festivities. The celebration is in full swing, but behind the scenes, a quiet panic begins to set in. The wine, a symbol of joy and abundance, has run out. Imagine the host's embarrassment, the servants' worried glances. In this moment of need, Jesus' mother, Mary, approaches him. With a mother's gentle concern, she simply states, "They have no more wine." She doesn't demand a solution, she simply presents the problem to her son, her faith unwavering. Jesus responds, "Woman, why do you involve me? My hour has not yet come." It's a curious reply, not of disrespect, but of a divine timing known only to him. Yet, Mary, understanding the depth of her son, turns to the servants. Her instruction is simple, profound, and a lesson for all time: do whatever he tells you. Nearby stood 6 large stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus approaches the servants and gives a clear command: fill the jars with water. The servants obey without question, filling each massive jar to the very brim. Then, a second command follows: now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet. As they obey, a quiet and seen miracle unfolds. The clear, simple water transforms. It takes on the deep, rich color of the finest wine. There's no dramatic flash of light, just a silent act of divine power, turning a moment of lack into an overflow of abundance. The master of the banquet, unaware of the miracle, takes a sip. His eyes widen in surprise. He calls the bridegroom over, not with a complaint, but with a compliment. He says, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink, but you have saved the best until now." He had no idea that what he was tasting was not the product of a vineyard, but the first public sign of Jesus' glory. This act, the turning of water into wine, was the beginning. Through it, Jesus revealed his divine nature, and his disciples saw and put their faith in him. After this, Jesus, his mother, his brothers, and his disciples went down to Capernaum for a few days. But soon, the Passover of the Jews was near, and a different scene was about to unfold. Jesus made his way up to the bustling city of Jerusalem. As he entered the temple courts, the sacred space meant for prayer and worship, he was met with a jarring sight. Instead of reverence, he found commerce. The courtyard was filled with the sounds of a marketplace, men selling cattle, sheep, and doves. The clinking of coins as money changers sat at their tables, exchanging currency for the temple tax. The house of God had become a place of business. A holy anger rises within Jesus. This was his Father's house, and it was being dishonored. He fashions a whip out of cords and, with righteous authority, drives the merchants and their animals out of the temple courts. He scatters the coins of the money changers, overturning their tables in a dramatic display of divine zeal. To those selling doves, he commands, "Get these out of here. Stop turning my Father's house into a market." The chaos is a physical manifestation of a spiritual cleansing. Jesus is reclaiming the sacred space for its true purpose. The Jewish leaders, witnessing this, are stunned and indignant. They challenge him, demanding, "What sign can you show us to prove your authority to do all this?" They ask for a sign, and Jesus gives them a prophecy, one they cannot yet comprehend. He looks at the magnificent temple, the center of their faith, and declares, "Destroy this temple, and I will raise it again in 3 days." They scoff, thinking he's talking about the physical building, which took 46 years to construct. But Jesus was speaking of a different temple, the temple of his own body. He was foretelling his death and his resurrection, the ultimate sign that would validate all his authority and power. It was a prophecy his disciples would remember and understand only after he had risen from the dead, deepening their belief in him and the scriptures. This chapter reveals the beginning of Jesus' public ministry, starting with a miracle of joy and abundance at a wedding and moving to a powerful act of cleansing and prophecy in the heart of Jerusalem. It shows us a Jesus who celebrates with us in our joy and who passionately defends the holiness of his Father's house. From the best wine saved for last to the promise of a temple rebuilt in 3 days, John chapter 2 sets the stage for the incredible journey of faith that is to come. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe for more.